I don't know if you do those kinds of conversations where,
Never talked to any country leaders, so
no, not a country leader, but say a controversial figure or somebody that represents a certain idea. Don't just talk in the space of ideas or challenge the ideas, but understand who is this person? How did you come to those ideas?
oh yeah, there have been a couple of very controversial right-leaning figures. So the two, obviously, the my extremist familiar are Lauren Southern and Nick Fuentes, and those types of conversations initially aren't very political at all. Yeah, it's more like obviously we believe in very 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 different things, but like beliefs don't happen accidentally. So how did you get to where you are? Those are way more personal conversations. That's true. Yeah.
Is there things you regret about those conversations where you failed? Is there things you're proud of where you succeeded?
For things that I'm proud of, I feel like I'm really good at attempting to understand people without judgment. That I think a lot of people feel like they can have conversations with me where they can share a lot, and I'm not going to jump down their throat for them having a politically incorrect observation or for them being judgmental of somebody else or having like a feeling that's maybe not something they should have, something they're embarrassed about. So I think I do a really good job at that. And then by extension of that, I've gotten the ability to hear perspectives from so many different people that I think I can understand a lot of different perspectives. For failures of mine, I mean, it's always going to be on stream. It'll be like I didn't push back hard enough, or I didn't know like a certain fact for a conversation. These are usually they're going to be on these like very technical grounds. Generally, I'm pretty happy with like the direction my conversations have gone recently, especially over like the past 6 months.
So your goal is to de-radicalize the audience of those folks.
So that used to be my goal. My goal was de-radicalization. Now I'm kind of hoping that that's just the byproduct. So the goal, I think, is to talk to somebody and to show they believe this because of these reasons. And if you want to change people's beliefs, we have to talk about the underlying reasons for why they think the things they think. It's not enough to just say like that belief is bad, because it's like, well, they believe it for a whole bunch of things that are true and real to them, at least. So you have to address all of the underlying things that they believe before you can change the overlying belief. So if I'm having a conversation with somebody, it'll be like, okay, why do you feel this about that, that, and that? Okay, I understand that. Maybe like a better way to solve that would be like this or that instead of this thing.
So
Mhm.
to what degree do you have to empathize with the person's worldview versus pushback?
That's always the hard one. When I'm talking to other people, it's almost always me stepping as much inside their bubble as I can. I have to like live and breathe their worldview and be able to speak their worldview in order to like navigate their thoughts. Because my worldview is I'm not even using this as an insult. I don't know if I am a little bit autistic or something, but when I break apart things, I just want to see like study, 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 fact, fact, fact. That's how my mind works for everything. That's what I like to see. Like personal stories don't do much for me. Narratives don't do much for me. Just show me like the data and the studies or whatever. But for other people, I think most brains are more human than that, and they tend to see things in more kind of like surreal pictures that are kind of painted, and the brush strokes are way broader, and they don't care about the itty bitty tiny fact. So if I'm talking to somebody else and I'm trying to get into their head and I'm trying to change their mind on things, I'm going to be stepping into their world, and I'm going to try to be working through that framework. Really good example might be we'll say like when it comes to trans issues for minors, okay, 16 or 17-year-old needs to get on puberty blockers. The way that I want that debate to play out is let's look at all the data. Let's see what are the outcomes. Let's see what are the processes for getting a medication, and then we'll evaluate all of that, and then we'll go in whatever like points more favorably. But that's wholly unconvincing to most people, right? So as a parent, if I'm having that conversation with another parent, the easiest way for me to have that conversation is like, hey, we both have kids. Imagine how horrible it would be if we felt like our kids needed help and the government was trying to get between us and their doctor in that conversation. That might be how that talk plays out, which I mean, I think that's a really good argument, because I think there probably are times when the government should get in between it. But I'll have that conversation because now I'm in a world where they understand what I'm saying. I am resonating with the way that they feel about things, and then I can make progress with the way that they're kind of viewing the world because I'm talking in a language they understand.